Hello and welcome back to another Your First Million in Real Estate training video. I'm Josh Altman here with Cody Sperber, and in this video, we're going to focus on the concept of building your power team.
You know, Andrew Carnegie once said, teamwork is the ability to work together towards a common vision. The ability to direct individual accomplishments towards organizational objectives. It's the fuel that allows common people to attain uncommon results. And I truly believe that neither Cody or myself would have achieved the level of success we have if it were not for our power team members. So in today's video,
we're going to talk about which power team members do you need to find success as a real estate investor. What qualifying questions should you ask each team member? What each power team member's roles and responsibilities are? And we're going to recommend how and when you should reward your power team members. Now, when I talk about real estate power team, I'm referring to the supporting team members that will help you find deals, rehab houses, lend you money, insure or protect your investments, and provide mentorship. Finding the right power team members will be crucial to your success as an investor. And over the years, I've hired, fired, and moved around my power team members until I found the perfect power team that helps support my real estate business. There's no way I would be able to run and manage a multi-million-dollar business without the support of my power team members. Each and every day, I'm utilizing at least one of my team members to help me invest in real estate, make money, and keep my sanity. I think it's very important that I break down the roles and responsibilities for each team member individually. That way, you'll have a solid understanding of what to look for when building out your own power team.
So let's start with one of the most important power team members in our opinion, and that is the investor-friendly real estate agent. Now, we say investor-friendly because not all real estate agents are created equal. When a person goes to real estate school to get their license, they do not get trained on how to work with investors. In fact, a common misconception is that a licensed agent is a real estate expert. The reality is, being licensed really only means that you understand the ethical and legal responsibilities required by law for a person to represent buyers and sellers. A real estate agent's real expertise comes through years of on-the-job training and hopefully investing themselves.
that's right. And from your perspective, you want a licensed real estate agent to help you learn your markets, do research, find deals, comp properties, and buy or sell real estate found on the MLS.
So you want to find an agent that is knowledgeable about the local real estate market. You want an agent that invests in real estate themselves. You want an agent that will submit creative, lowball, or mass offers on your behalf. You want an agent that will comp properties and do market research for you at a moment's notice. You want an agent that's willing to list your properties at a small discount. And lastly, you want someone that has or has had access to a NAID number, which means they're able to submit offers on HUD properties.
So, Josh, everybody watching this is so extremely lucky to have the ability to learn from one of the world's greatest real estate agents and investors. So what I wanted to do is just take a few minutes to have like a candid conversation about this particular topic.
Great.
All right, so, over the years, I've literally hired and fired so many bad real estate agents. And when you find a good one, it's literally like adding rocket fuel to your business. I mean, you could literally light the world on fire. And we sort of mentioned earlier about this concept of when you first get out of real estate school, it's not like you know what you're doing. It's not like you've been trained at that point to work with investors or to even be a real estate agent, really.
Right.
Yeah. So take us back to that moment. You just got your license. You're brand new. What happens next?
That's a great question. So when I got my real estate license, I met with the local companies and I interviewed and tried to get jobs at all these companies to become an agent because I didn't know what to do. They don't teach you what to do. So the only way you're going to learn is to A, get a mentor and learn from them, or B, a company is going to take you in and you learn from them because
they provide the training.
Yeah, exactly. The only training you're going to get is actually doing. And when you're a first-time real estate agent, you just got your license, no one's going to hire you to do anything or teach you the ropes. So you almost have to be an assistant type of thing towards...
For somebody like yourself now.
Right, exactly. So I get calls from new agents all the time. They want to work in my office. They want to sit my open houses. They want to learn the ropes from me because they don't teach you anything when you get your license. So that's the problem with new agents. That's why you always want to work with an agent who's seasoned.
Right. And that's kind of why I brought that up, because, you know, I wanted to just literally pull back the curtain and allow everybody watching this just to be able to come inside and get some insider information, right? Because we have this perception that anybody with a license is an expert, and that's not necessarily the case. So what I wanted to do is just fire over some random questions and just have this candid conversation.
Sure, of course.
Cool? Yep. All right. So from an agent's perspective, why does working with an investor just make sense?
Oh, working with investors are awesome. Are you kidding me? The average buyer buys a house every 3, 4, 5, 6 years, right? An average investor can do 3, 4, 5 deals a year. So it's a great relationship where if everything's going well, you're making money on commissions and the investor is making money on the investments. So it's a great, you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back type of relationship. I love working with investors. In fact, I have like 10 main investors, and that's a lot of my business. You know, over the hundreds of millions that I sell a year, a lot of it is to investors.
Can I be one of your investors? Just throwing that out there. All right. So, next question. What motivates an agent to work harder for their investor clients?
Okay, so lots of investors call me up all the time that I haven't met before, and they say, hey, we want to buy a lot of investments. We want to work with you, but will you do it for half of your normal percentage? I said, I just met you. I haven't even sold anything yet with you guys, and you're already asking me to take a cut on my commission. Well, that's one way to demotivate an agent. I'll tell you right now. You want to be the agent's top priority. Okay? So how are you going to get in that top position so when that agent gets an amazing deal, why are they going to send it to you instead of the other investors?
You want to be their first phone call.
Exactly. So you want to get in good with the agent. You want to motivate the agent. Look, if you're doing multiple deals, sure, of course we'll work a deal out. I don't need to make the full percentage on the front and the back. You know, there are ways to do it, but at least you got to get some deals underneath your belt. You know what I mean? So
start building that relationship first.
Yes, yeah. So don't cut the agent's commission in the beginning. Work a relationship so they send you the better deals. Trust me, agents know good deals, and they're the first people to see them.
That's right. And I know that's a mistake a lot of new investors make. And once I found a really good investor-friendly real estate agent to work with our team, we quickly learned that we want to pay them. We want to pay their commissions. And on the flip side, like let's say they brought us a good deal and we remodeled it, a lot of times they would volunteer and say, look, if I get that listing back and I'm able to list it on the MLS, I'll give you a little bit of a discount on it. So it was always mutually beneficial.
Yeah, that's true. And by the way, we have something that we say all the time, which is, so when you're going into surgery with a doctor, you don't want to negotiate the doctor down before he goes and performs surgery to save your life, right? Or if you're going to court, you don't try to negotiate the attorney who's about to,
keep your butt out of jail.
represent you, right? So when you're negotiating with a real estate agent, motivate them. Have them work for you, and they're happy to work for you, and they're excited to run the comps and do all the due diligence for you and get you that good deal first.
That's good advice. All right, next one. What are a few sources that agents can find investors good deals? Now, we know of some, the main one, which is the MLS, but there are other sources out there.
Yeah, that's a good question. There's a lot of places where people aren't even aware of where you can find deals, and one of them is HUDHomestore.com. There's pocket listings, there's pre-listed deals, and of course the MLS deals.
Yeah, and for those of you that are newer, HUDHomestore.com is where the government sells their foreclosures that they've taken back, and that's how they get rid of the government inventory of homes. And then tell me, you mentioned pocket listings.
Yep.
If you're new, they're probably sitting there going, what's a pocket listing?
It's a good question.
What is that?
Sorry.
High five. All right, what's a pocket listing?
Oh, great question. Sometimes I talk and I realize that people who haven't done this before, I got to explain it. So A pocket listing is a property that is not going to be on the multiple listing service or the MLS. This is a property that's going to be shopped around and sold off market. Okay, so you never see it on the MLS, and a lot of times they're really good deals. I'd say a good percentage of what I sell every year is off-market deals, and that's from pocket listings.
So like private listings.
Exactly.
Okay, so somebody would come to you and say, I'm going to give you the opportunity to sell my house. Okay, you'll be my agent.
Yep.
But I don't want it to go on the MLS.
Yeah, and
So-
I would take that and I would shop it around to all my clients, and I'd shop it around to other agents that I work with and do lots of deals with, but the property will never be up on the MLS for all of the public to see.
And that's a benefit for investors because, one, we get access to deals we couldn't find on the MLS, and two, a lot of times when the property hits the MLS, that kind of sets the value, the perceived value of the property.
Right.
Right? And so therefore, if it never hits the MLS and I buy it directly from you, the tax record, it'll show that value in the tax records, but if I remodel it and then put it on the MLS, you can really see that the value has increased.
Some of the best deals that I've ever done with my clients have actually been pocket listings.
And then pre-listed, the difference between pocket listing and pre-listed is it's going to hit the pre-listed, it's going to hit the MLS.
Yeah, yeah.
But you're just giving me a heads up because I'm one of your better clients.
Exactly. So when I sign a listing, there's usually like a 2-week period before I put the listing on the multiple listing service. So I got to take the pictures, we got to prep the house. So there's a lag of about 2 weeks. When I have that listing signed, within that 2 weeks, I reach out to all my investors and all my clients and say, hey folks, I got this property coming out. Let me know if you're interested. I'll get you in there first before it hits the market. And a lot of good deals have been made that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What are the biggest benefits of working with a good investor-friendly real estate agent? Because we've been talking a lot about benefits.
Right.
Okay. Just from your point of view, what are some of the benefits?
Well, look, a local expert is a benefit, okay? You want somebody who's market savvy, somebody who has lots of connections and inside information, okay? I got a lot of information. My ear is to the ground, you know what I mean? I'm meeting with buyers and sellers all day long, so you want somebody who has that inside information. You know, realtors also may be willing to partner up, introduce you to other power team members of theirs. So that's always nice as well, you know, escrow title. So you want to work with an agent because they have all the information and this is their world. And if they bring you into that world, there's a lot of success that can be made together. And again, at the end of the day, they have access to the MLS as well as all these off-market properties.
Yeah, and some of my best relationships
Yeah.
have been made because my agent introduced me to other people in the industry.
Yep.
And just that credibility of them saying, hey, this is a good investor, client of mine, I want to introduce you to so-and-so, right then and there, they're taking me seriously.
Wait, by the way, how about introducing one investor to another investor? So now you can do joint ventures. You got twice the amount of money. I do it all the time. I got one big client. I introduce them to another big client. Next thing I know, they're best friends and they're making millions of dollars together. So all those type of connections of people in that world is super important.
That's awesome. All right. What is a way that an investor can turn off an agent?
All right, so this has of course happened before because I've been in the business long enough where I've pretty much experienced everything. I think the most important right away is not respecting their time.
The agent's time.
Not respecting the agent's time. You know, agents only have so much time in a day to run comps and go through the properties and find you the best deal. So you got to respect their time. Number one, don't negotiate down their commission because that's just going to keep them unmotivated. And you kind of want to add value to the relationship as well. So if you're an investor and I give you a great deal, use me on the next time. Use me the next house. Use me when you resell the house. Yeah, use me to relist it. If I sell you a house and you redo the house and then don't call me to relist it, guess what? I'm not giving you a deal anymore.
You're not going to be motivated to call me first. On
Exactly.
The next one. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so what's the biggest deal that you've ever found for an investor? Like the biggest one.
The biggest one?
Because, I mean, you're in like a unique universe of real estate, which is not necessarily normal in the rest of the world. So I just found it might be interesting to the people watching. What's the biggest moneymaker?
Are you sitting down?
Nope.
There's a There's a couple that come to mind that were just home runs. Okay, so I brought a client to a house that he ended up buying for $5.5 million.
Okay.
He spent $5 million redoing it. Okay, so he's into it for $10.5 million, and this was probably within a 14-month period, and he resold it for $19 million. So that's almost a $9 million profit. Now that house he redid. Now
That's
I got
amazing.
You ready for this one?
All right.
I got another investor that I sold the property to for $4.5 million. He ended up doing nothing to it and selling it 3 months later because we got such a good deal for almost $8 million. He didn't even touch it. He literally just bought a house.
Doubled his money.
Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, that was an off-market listing.
There you go. That's amazing. Now, did he buy you a Christmas gift?
Yeah.
Send you a brand new car,
He got me a Starbucks card.
a Starbucks card.
You know, you're making $4 million, here's $50.
That's your best friend for life.
No, I'm kidding. He's
All right.
actually, you want to know what the present was? He keeps using me. And I keep making money off of him, and he keeps making money because of me. And it's a great relationship.
Yeah, I would name my kids after you at that point. All right, so there you have it. As you can see, a savvy, investor-friendly real estate agent is a must-have power team member. And since we have Josh here in the studio, I thought it'd be fun just to play a little game. So what I'm going to do is just rapid fire off a bunch of concepts and terms that a good investor-friendly real estate agent would have heard or know of.
Okay. Yep.
So all you got to do is tell me whether or not you've heard of them or not.
Okay.
All right, you ready? Here we go. All right, hard money.
I've heard of it all the time, and I use it.
Assignments.
Yep. Done it all the time. In fact, that's one of the quickest ways to make money.
All right, double closings.
Oh, yeah, of course.
What a NAID number is.
Yep, I got one.
Wholesaling houses.
Of course.
Land trusts.
Yep.
Open title.
Yep.
Eminent domain.
Unfortunately.
Driving for dollars.
Yep.
The Running Man.
The Running Man. I know the Running Man. You want to do the Running Man?
Let's do the Running Man. You
Come
ready?
on.
All right, here we go. All right, in all seriousness though, before we move on to our next power team member, I want to answer a question that I get all the time from new investors. The question is, how can I get access to the MLS? Now, currently I know of 3 different ways to get access to the MLS, and they are, number 1, use your investor-friendly real estate agent. Now that you know what an investor-friendly real estate agent looks like, your main objective as of right now is to go out and find an agent that has all the qualifications that you're looking for. You can find a good investor-friendly real estate agent from recommendations from other investors or from networking down at your local real estate investor association meetings. Now explain to them how you can benefit them by telling them your plan for going out and buying a lot of properties, potentially listing a lot of properties after you rehab them, and if you collect any retail leads that don't match your investor profile, that you're going to edify the agent and pass the leads on to them so they can get more listings. In return, if they can help you do market research, make daily offers on MLS, distressed properties, foreclosures, HUD properties, help you fill out paperwork, or give you access to the MLS, then you guys would both have a mutually beneficial relationship. Way number 2 is becoming a licensed real estate agent yourself. Now, getting a license may take a while, and it typically costs between $1,500 and $2,000 after classes and dues, but it's well worth it. Now, I find that it's a huge benefit being licensed and being an investor. Another homework assignment for you is for you to go out and investigate the time and cost commitment for you to get your real estate license. And the third and final way is getting hired by a local broker or real estate agent as their marketing coordinator or administrative assistant. Now, this is one of my favorite techniques for anybody that doesn't want to be licensed themselves. And what you really need to do is just go out there and befriend an investor-friendly real estate agent or broker and offer to work for them as a marketing coordinator. Any assistant of a real estate agent or broker can gain limited access to the MLS for a small monthly fee. This is great because you're going to be able to get your own MLS username and password, so the agent doesn't have to give you theirs. This is going to allow you to access the MLS so you can comp properties, do market research, all without having to bother the agent every 5 minutes. Okay, on to the next power team member, a good property manager.
Even though this course focuses more on wholesaling and flipping houses, we still thought it would be appropriate to discuss what a good property manager looks like. So that way, when you're ready to build long-term wealth, you're knowledgeable and prepared. So in our opinion, the absolute best way to find a property manager is through another investor referral. They should be licensed and have errors and omissions insurance. They should always disclose all of their fees and never have any hidden fees inside their paperwork. Hidden fees include remarketing fees if a tenant moves out, eviction fees, commission fees if you decide to sell the property during the time using the property manager's services, and repair up charges. Also, a good property manager should offer flexible a la carte services, giving you the flexibility to decide what services you want to pay for. And finally, it's in my opinion that you never hire the largest or smallest property management company in your area. Unfortunately, property managers have the worst job in the world. Tenants that don't pay hate them for not being more flexible, and investors hate them for charging them hidden fees. It's your job to find a good property manager that has a good track record working with investors and strong marketing strategy to find you quality tenants, a proven pre-screening process to weed out the losers, and the experience to know when to be flexible and when to stand firm on collecting rents. The next power team member I want to talk about is your closing agent. This is, in my opinion, the most important power team member you will have. So once you find a good one, take great care of them. Your closing agent can be an attorney or an escrow officer. Each state is different depending on if it's a trust deed state or a note and mortgage state. A good investor-friendly closing agent will allow double closings, also known as simultaneous closings, which, if you don't yet know what it is, we'll cover it in detail in a future training video. And I don't care if it's the first 10 closing agents you talk to say that double closings are illegal in your state. I am telling you that without a shadow of a doubt that they are legal, and you need to keep searching for ones that have experience with this type of transaction.
Man, Josh, I can't even tell you how many times I was told that it wasn't possible, only to eventually find a good closing agent that actually knew what they were doing. Now, I also wanted to add that a good closing agent, they're going to understand creative investing techniques like wraparound mortgages and creating notes. They should give you an investor discount off of your title and escrow fees. Now, we're going to cover these fees in detail in the last module of this course when we cover all the financials that go into the HUD-1 statement.
That's good stuff. Also, I think it's important to say that a good closing agent should be willing to give you their personal cell phone number. I can't tell you how many times I needed a question answered on the weekend, or I had an important deal that needed some extra special attention that my superstar closing agent simply handled for me after I called her during non-business hours. And lastly, they should be willing to introduce you to other investors. I am constantly asking my closing agent to intro me to her top clients. The relationships I've created from this strategy have paid off big time over the years.
That's right, and you can find good closing agents from other investor referrals or advertising in the back of the local Real Estate Investor Association's newsletter or on their website. The key is to find somebody that's busy, but not too busy to make you a priority. Somebody that's smart, open-minded, and knowledgeable about how an investor thinks and does business. At the end of the day, you should be a great client for them because after we're done with you, you're going to be bringing them so many deals that your number one goal should be to become their top client.
Okay, moving on. Let's talk about the next power team member, the real estate attorney. Now, I use my attorney to create documents for me, review complicated transactional paperwork, learn local real estate laws, and evict non-paying tenants. Your attorney should specialize in real estate law, understand the local foreclosure process, and be able to teach it to you, and also be somewhat affordable, around $200 to $300 an hour on the high end, and have a standard contract package for an affordable price. Look, I paid over $4,000 for my contract package, which you get with this course. So take those documents to your attorney to review them and save some dough. Lastly, your attorney should be knowledgeable about asset protection. This includes setting up legal entities to hold or flip property in, land trusts, and personal property trusts. The best place to find a good real estate attorney is through investor referrals, advertising in the back of your local RIA's newsletter, or Googling real estate attorney. Next up is a solid general contractor or handyman. Your GC should be licensed, bonded, and insured, and not have any complaints against them with the Register of Contractors. Must not be financially insolvent or desperate in any way for your business. Willing to work for 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3, or another pay schedule that allows you to maintain control over the money until the work gets done and has been inspected. And lastly, just for your knowledge, a licensed GC can pull permits where a handyman can't. So on smaller jobs, it will be more affordable to work with a handyman. Either of these Power Team members can be found through investor referrals, advertising in the back of your local RIA's newsletter, angieslist.com, servicemagic.com, craigslist.com, backpage.com, Googling, or simply by hanging out at the local hardware store.
Finding a good general contractor is like finding a spouse. There are many options out there, but finding one you can have a lasting relationship with is difficult to do. That's because their job by nature is at odds with an investor's business goals. Okay? I can tell you from experience that a good GC makes flipping a house fun and profitable, while a bad GC makes you want to quit real estate and go get a job at the local fast food joint. Here are a few questions to ask when interviewing potential general contractors. Number 1, do you have a standard crew you work with, or do you hire random subcontractors? Number 2, are you licensed, bonded, and insured? Have you ever been sued by a previous client? Number 3, do you give hard bids? Okay, how fast can you bid out a property for me? Number 4, are you okay with a time-based performance payment structure? Number 5, will you secure a property for a flat fee? This includes changing locks and possibly boarding up the windows. Your goal as an investor is to have a performance contract in place and set expectations very early on in the relationship. Let them know that you'll never pay upfront, but will purchase materials upfront as long as they give you a receipt. Lastly, put them on a disbursement plan of 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3 as construction gets complete. Randomly show up on the job site unannounced to verify progress and immediately fire any GC that is not trustworthy, or if you get a gut feeling that they're stealing materials, money, or your valuable time.
Good stuff, Josh. Now, the next Power Team member that we want to review is an investor-friendly mortgage lender. This individual can be a mortgage broker or a mortgage banker. Now, a broker is a self-employed financing expert that can shop your loan to multiple financing institutions to find you the best rates. A banker works for a specific lending institution and typically only offers that institution's products. Either one should be knowledgeable about the current lending programs out there, as well as programs coming up on the horizon. Also, either one should have full disclosure on their fees, which should include both front-end fees and back-end fees on any loans that they make. And lastly, they must have experience working with real estate investors, because we are entrepreneurs. And a good investor-friendly mortgage lender will help you gather all the necessary documents to package up your loans to look attractive. And then they're going to go and fight for you to get the best loan products available that are out there on the market. This Power Team member can be found through investor referrals, advertising in the back of your local RIA's newsletter, through your investor-friendly real estate agent, or down at your local bank. Now, we're going to be talking more about this next Power Team member in more detail in the funding module of Your First Million in Real Estate, but for now, just know that a good hard money lender with a lot of available money is a valuable member of your Power Team. Now, your hard money lender should lend you money based off the financial data of the asset and not off of you personally. They must have a lot of available funds on hand, and they should not charge you a processing fee that's not completely disclosed, and they should be able to fund within 48 hours. You can find hard money lenders through investor referrals, advertising that they place in the back of your local RIA's newsletter, down at the local foreclosure auction, through your mortgage lender, or through local wholesalers. Good hard money lenders fund quickly and are true asset-based lenders. In other words, they should base their lending approval based on the asset itself and not on your personal credit. Here are a couple of great questions that you should ask any potential hard money lenders before you use them. Number 1, what are your typical terms? Number 2, do you charge points to get a loan with you? Number 3, do you charge a fee to extend out the loan or if I pay late? Number 4, do you charge a prepayment penalty? Number 5, do you secure the loan or is there a personal guarantee that is needed in order to get the loan? Number 6, will you provide me with a proof of funds that I can go and use when making offers? Number 7, do you offer fix-up funds as well as purchase money funds? Number 8, how quickly can you fund? Can you fund properties purchased down at the foreclosure auction? In other words, can you fund within 24 to 48 hours?
All right, next Power Team member is your accountant. An investor-friendly accountant should specialize in real estate tax law, invest in real estate themselves, understand how to treat deductions and depreciation, and provide affordable bookkeeping services, or at the very least, train you on how to keep your own books. Typically, an investor-friendly accountant can be found through investor referrals, advertising in the back of your local RIA's newsletter, or Googling real estate tax service or real estate accountant in your local area.
Whenever I'm interviewing potential accountants or bookkeepers, I ask them the following questions. Number 1, do you work with a lot of real estate investors? Number 2, from a tax perspective, is there a difference between quick turning real estate versus holding it for a while? Number 3, how should I treat depreciation? Number 4, what deductions can or should I take? Number 5, what does it mean to be considered a real estate dealer? Number 6, what do you charge for bookkeeping services? Number 7, are you familiar with 1031 exchanges? And can you refer me to a good 1031 exchange company? And lastly, what strategy have you used recently to help a client save money?
Next up are 2 supporting Power Team members, a property inspector and a property appraiser. Both are mainly used when buying or selling retail properties off of the MLS, but I have used inspection reports to lower my offer to a motivated seller, so having either one of these professionals on call can really help out your business. A good inspector or appraiser should be part of an association. Some states require licensing and others don't, but in any case, they should carry errors and omissions insurance and offer some sort of guarantee on their work. Probably one of the best ways to really learn how to inspect a property is to ride along with an inspector or appraiser for a couple days and learn how to look at a property through their eyes. Either of these Power Team members can be found through investor referrals by asking your investor-friendly real estate agent, or even checking with your closing agent to see if they have anyone they recommend.
The second to last Power Team member is your insurance agent. Now, a good insurance agent should invest in real estate themselves, move quickly by offering same-day service, should insure vacant and rental properties, and should spend the time to educate you on the different types of policies for investors to ensure that you get placed into the right policy for you. This Power Team member can be found through investor referrals, advertising in the back of your local RIA's newsletter, or just Googling insurance for real estate investors in your local area.
And the last Power Team member to cover is a mentor. Now, mentors come in all shapes and sizes and typically come into your life when you have an open heart and mind to hear what they have to say. Nobody can force you to be something you're not willing to become, and being open to learning from other professionals that have more experience than you will help fast-track your success. After all, that is why you invested in this course, to pick our brains and see if our systems can help you achieve your goals faster, which I'm confident they can. A good mentor should have considerable experience, should actively invest themselves, should practice being a good educator, and lastly, have proven systems and support staff to help you along your journey.
Well, congratulations on making it to an end of another video. Your homework is to go out and interview potential Power team members in your local market to see who's a good fit for you. Spend time building rapport and focus on adding as much value to them as they do to you.
That's right. And remember this, if you find a good Power team member, treat them like gold. A thank you card goes a long way, and if they do something that helps you make money, then I suggest sending them a small Starbucks gift card or a fruit basket for their office, from edible arrangements, or just something else that's thoughtful, just to let them know that you appreciate them. After all, you're only as good as your weakest team member, so spend the time finding the good ones and never settle for anything else except for exceptional.
Well, that's all we have for you right now. Congratulations on making it to the end of another awesome training video. Until we see you on the next training, thanks for watching and bye for now.